What is up, and welcome to SGPN's The Daily Dog. I'm your host, Britton Hess. I'm here with my favorite Underdog Fantasy Pick'em plays for Tuesday, November 12th, 2024. If you're new to Underdog Fantasy, sign up with promo code DailyDog. That's DAILYDOG at UnderdogFantasy.com or on the Underdog Fantasy app. That promo code will give you a 50% deposit match bonus worth up to $1,000. That is as good as it's going to get on Underdog. There's not better promo codes out there. There's bigger shows than the Daily Dog. They don't have bigger promo codes than me, and there's also bigger shows than mine that have smaller promo codes. So use promo code DailyDog, DAILYDOG at UnderdogFantasy.com or on the Underdog Fantasy app for a 50% deposit match bonus. And spread the word. If you've got a friend, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, whatever, who doesn't have an Underdog yet and they haven't signed up with the promo code, tell them to use the promo code DailyDog. It helps me out if you enjoy this content. We had a nice Saturday. We almost kept it rolling on Monday, but man, NFL, it's the Rams not scoring touchdowns was kind of a surprise, and that really got us off track there. And then NHL, 2 out of our 3 slips were done and locked and loaded ASAP. And then all of a sudden, the Avalanche game, the most inconsistent team right now in the Western Conference by my standards, is the Avalanche. And McCann did not get a goal, so that slip died a slow and painful death by him not scoring a goal in that game. That went all the way to overtime, and he didn't score. And then NBA, my goodness, man. I try to fade Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, say, hey, you know what? Maybe the offense for the Thunder will be a little bit off, considering that Chet Holmgren's out, and they got to reassess, reevaluate how they run things potentially here. No, it was like the injury year for Chet Holmgren is back. The amount of turnovers that the Clippers allowed in that game is why they lost it. But man, 45 points for Shai. So under 29.5 was not a good look for me there. And then, one more. The Jordan Poole just doesn't start shooting threes until like the fourth quarter when they're down. He goes 1 for 5 on the day. He shot 1 in the first half, man. You got to shoot, come on, just give me some more 3-pointers. You're a volume shooter, except not when I'm on you. So that kind of sucked. But who cares about yesterday? We got plenty of more opportunities for today. And actually, we'll start out with Thursday. We'll get ahead of it with Thursday Night Football. Jayden Daniels, higher than half of a rushing plus receiving touchdown, 1.5x multiplier, really juices up the slip. People are going to be betting on this, or they're going to be making this pick as we get closer and closer to this game. You might as well put it on the slip now, because Jayden Daniels is a dynamic threat. You know that I like to take advantage of running backs, running quarterbacks, and tight ends on these Thursday night games. Easier to implement them into your game plan when you don't have as much time to prepare. Jayden Daniels is going to have to ad-lib a little bit here, so give me Jayden Daniels higher than half of a rushing plus receiving touchdown in this game. Next, we're going to go to his dude, Terry McLaurin, higher than 61.5 receiving yards. Terry McLaurin is awesome. Terry McLaurin's production has skyrocketed since the young quarterback, Jayden Daniels, realized that, hey, this guy's a Pro Bowl level wide receiver. I don't have too many of those. I should just feed him the ball, and I should feed it to him deep, and we'll pick up a lot more yards that way than we would otherwise. So give me the man, the myth, the legend, Terry McLaurin, higher than 61.5 rushing or receiving yards in this game. Last, we're going to go to Dallas Goedert, higher than 26.5 receiving yards. So this one's interesting. Goedert's a little banged up. He didn't practice on Monday. I think he's trending towards playing, though. And 26.5 receiving yards, if he plays, is going to be nothing. That's 3 catches. And even with A.J. Brown back, even with Devontae Smith back, even with Saquon Barkley coming out of the backfield, Dallas Goedert has what it takes to get the job done and get higher than 26.5 receiving yards. If he gets ruled a full go, this number is going to go way up. Obviously, if he doesn't play in this game, then that leg will be canceled, and we'll just have Daniels and McLaurin, which I like already. So I'm not really going to be sweating it. But yeah, I think Goedert, they're just kind of hedging by making this such a low number, and if he plays, it's going to be way higher than this. So give me Dallas Goedert higher than 26.5 receiving yards in this spot. All right, let's go to the association. I learned my lesson. I'm not going to take lower with superstars because, man, all they do in the NBA is score, 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 and score. And on that note, as we get into the NBA Cup, we're going to go Jason Tatum higher than 28.5 points. Celtics are hosting the Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks are a terrible defensive team. Jason Tatum is an elite scorer. The real thing that we're trying to fade here is that Jason Tatum ends up, or at least the Celtics blow out the Hawks. If the Celtics blow out the Hawks and Tatum doesn't play into the fourth quarter, then yeah, this could be in jeopardy. However, there's also a good chance that if the Celtics are blowing out the Hawks, it's because Jason Tatum has already put up 30, 35 points in this game, and he's going nuclear from the three-point line. So give me Tatum higher than 28.5 points here against the Hawks. Again, I also like the total over 27 in this game as well, if you're into that type of thing. All right, Devin Booker higher than 7.5 assists. So the Suns are going to be without Kevin Durant for about 2 weeks, I believe, is what the latest report was. Devin Booker doesn't necessarily just evolve into, a high volume shooter and, a big time, more of a scorer when Durant's out of the lineup. He actually becomes even more of a distributor when Durant's out of the lineup. He becomes kind of more of a true point guard. Higher than 7.5 assists, definitely in his wheelhouse. He's done this plenty of times this year, plenty of times in his career. Him and Bradley Beal kind of have to shoulder the load a little bit more now, and that doesn't mean just scoring. That means getting guys the ball and setting up other guys to score instead of them just trying to get hot and stay hot and win the game because Beal and Booker are both like 35 points each. So give me Booker higher than 7.5 assists. Again, he's kind of sneakily gotten his assist numbers up over the last few seasons. He's definitely capable of being a distributor and getting 10 plus here. And I think honestly, look at Devin Booker for a double-double. Don't necessarily put it in a pick'em slip like in a parlay or anything like that. But on the surface, just a good 2-to-1 odds-ish on Booker to get a double-double seems pretty good to me. Last one, Steph Curry higher than 5.5 assists. Steph's averaging 6.3 assists per game. This Warriors team that everyone expected to stink hasn't really stunk so far. Part of that is because Steph Curry is giving the ball to his teammates. These kind of younger and unproven guys are getting involved, and he's putting them in positions to succeed with great dimes. Obviously, Steph Curry's always been a good passer, but nothing, his career is going to be defined by his shooting. So that's why I think you're getting such a low number here for a point guard in Steph Curry, higher than 5.5 assists. He's definitely not afraid to distribute it. And like I said, he's averaging 6.3. He's gone higher than 6.5 or 5.5 assists in a majority of his games so far this season. Give me Steph Curry to keep on distributing here. So Jason Tatum higher than 28.5 points, Devin Booker higher than 7.5 assists, and Steph Curry higher than 5.5 assists, 6.6x multiplier. And that one is for the NBA Cup on this beautiful Tuesday. All right. NHL, sour taste in my mouth after McKinnon didn't deliver. And it was only sour because we had the early game Tage Thompson to score a goal. He's a first period goal against the Canadiens in that early game on Monday. Then we had then we had Matt Duchene to get a point against the Penguins. He got a point in like 3.5 minutes into that game as well. He got it done really quickly. And then Nathan McKinnon, we've got the whole game for you to just get a goal, buddy. He gets an assist, but he doesn't get a goal. Should have played a point prop. I should have been a little bit more conservative there, not so aggressive. But yeah, it goes the whole game without scoring a goal, and then in overtime, he obviously doesn't get the winner there either. So a bit disappointing. All right, but enough about yesterday's disappointing NHL slip. Let's keep on going, and let's get some winners here. Jared McCann of the Kraken is a point-scoring machine, higher than half of a point in this game. Yes, please, I will take that one. Today, yesterday, twice on Sunday, however else you want to say it, they're playing against the Blue Jackets, who are obviously not an elite team from a scoring or from a defensive or goaltending perspective. So yeah, give me McCann there. Next, we're going to go to Quinn Hughes, higher than half of a point. Again, another guy who's been a very productive point getter for his team, for the Canucks. They're hosting the Flames. Flames are on leg 2 of a back-to-back, so it might be a little tired legs, might be a little bit more open space, a little more opportunities for Quinn Hughes to help his boys out. Last one, we're going Leon Draisaitl to score a goal. Draisaitl is actually the leading scorer on this Oilers team, as the man Connor McDavid kind of evolves into his Sidney Crosby era as he ages up into his late 20s into 30s potentially. He's not in the 30s yet, but as he ages, he might be doing a little bit more of the distributing than the passing. That's kind of what happens with a lot of great players, unless your name's Alex Ovechkin. And Draisaitl is still there and still an elite goal scorer and leading this team in goals. So give me a goal from Leon Draisaitl against the stupid, boring, very hateable New York Islanders team. This is a pretty conservative slip, to be honest, 4.9x, and it's because McCann and Hughes are getting points in their games. It's all going to come down to Draisaitl scoring a goal once again, like our big slip yesterday. All right, MACTION. I put in a MACTION slip, but I'm not going to get too crazy with it. I'm keeping it simple, and I don't think you should get too crazy with it either, because in these MACTION games we see weather, we see crazy inconsistency out of these players and these teams. So anything is possible in MACTION. A 3-leg MACTION quarterback slip is basically playing Russian roulette. So, put $5, $10 on it, or whatever the equivalent is with your bankroll, and try to have some fun with it. Try to, root for these kids for their MAC teams, because they're on Tuesday night football. I mean, this is what their whole life is built around. So let's go Tucker Gleason of Toledo, higher than 1.5 passing touchdowns versus Central Michigan. Connor Bazelak of Bowling Green, higher than 1.5 passing touchdowns versus Western Michigan. And Kadin Semonza of Ball State at Buffalo, higher than 1.5 passing touchdowns, 4.7x. All these quarterbacks have had huge games on the year, 3-4 passing touchdown games. The only problem is they're MAC quarterbacks. So the next game they might, go 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 180 yards against another MAC team. So again, be cautious, but let's root for these guys and let's have some fun on our MACTION slip here. All right, we got Thursday Night Football slip, we got NBA slip, NHL slip, and MACTION slip. That's all I got for you today. Let's make some money.